power have been with you all along. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Trey Michael, and this, this is another segment of Applied Consciousness. I want you to put your thinking caps on. I want you right now to use your intuition, use your gut. If you are alive on this planet right now, it is unequivocal that you see the destruction of what's happening on the planet. And if you're not a person that's been keeping up with what's going on the planet, let me just go ahead and give you a little pointers on some of the things that have been occurring. The wildfires in the west of America are still blazing. Louisiana, New Jersey, Mississippi, and New York have been flooded by Hurricane Ida. Now, those are just the things that we perceive as the bad things that are occurring. We also noticing massive shifts and changes on the planet. For example, a 20-year war in Afghanistan has ended. Now, when you put your thinking caps on, not using your five senses, but using your sixth sense. See, your five senses will tell you, oh, woe are thee. The world is just changing too quickly. But when you use your sixth sense, you'll realize that a world that is no longer suitable, a world that is no longer inhabitable, is being destroyed. Which means that a new world is coming. Now, before you get into, it's the new world order, that's again your perception. I want to give you a breakdown on some of the things that are occurring on planet Earth today by using something that we in the conscious community, we in the light worker community call the dark night of the soul. Well, listen, if you're new to my podcast, if you're new to the spiritual awakening, if you're new to higher consciousness, let me first tell you, thank you for being a part of this podcast today. Sit down, grab your coffee, grab your cold water or sweet tea, and sit down and let me be able to give you some words that may just shift your reality if you dare to walk this path. Before I begin, I want to first explain to you something in the physical form. I want to talk to those that have not ascended, those that are not consciously aware yet. I want to speak to those people also. I want to give you an example of what we call the dark night of the soul in situations that occur for people that have not woke up yet. Have you ever been in a circumstance so bad, so completely captivating, so it just shifts your reality? It's just like a wake-up call. It slaps you in the face and you have no answers for what's going on. What it forces you to do is to either adapt or die. I'll give you a prime example. An individual has tried to work this 9 to 5 and they just can't get ahead with the bills. And eventually the bills overcome them to the point that they're evicting them from their home. They're repossessing your cars. They're telling you, we can't take your child at daycare. You're behind 2 months on the payments. Have you ever noticed that at those lowest points, we realized that the things that we were doing prior to were just not going to get us through? And it forced us in the hardship, in the lowest point, it forced us to reach out to other jobs. It forced us to go get second jobs. It forced us to reach out for help from people that you probably really did not want to ask for help from. And in the physical, what happens is over time, that situation becomes better. Now, the situation didn't become better because of time. The situation became better because you were forced to change. You were forced to do something that you did not want to do. Now, what we call the dark night of the soul is something a little bit more extreme than paying a bill. It comes in many forms. It comes towards each human being to bring it to its breaking point. Now, this breaking point can only be fixed. It can only be undone when the human being decides to submit what it thinks it knows, or the BS, or the belief system. And it pushes you so low in a bad spot that's so low and so hot and so unbearable that the human being detaches the soul from the body. And we call that a spiritual death. I mean, a physical death. It's more of a spiritual death because the spirit comes out of its cocoon and it becomes the beautiful butterfly. But what makes it do that is that the human being that has been in control of your life, the one that's sexual drive has controlled it, one that's its drug addiction has controlled it, one that the flesh's gambling addiction controlled it, its addiction to pornography, its addiction to all of the things that the flesh really wants. But see, the flesh will give those things up if it feels that it is at its lowest point and death is imminent. And that's when the beauty occurs. That at that point is when the spirit says, hey flesh, we've tried it your way for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And your route is basically finna kill the both of us. We're gonna be out of here, buddy. Would you like to let me take the steering wheel for a while? And at that point, the human being is being wrapped up in a cocoon, that darkness that is within inside of the cocoon. When the caterpillar wraps itself around in its own cocoon, and in that point, in that cocoon, it is dissolving itself, just like your flesh is dying, just like your belief systems are going away. And during that process, people that have ascended or woke up come out of that cocoon, no longer a caterpillar, but a beautiful butterfly that no longer has to crawl in the low places, but now flies and soars into the high places. It's no longer looked at as, oh, it looks nasty, get it away from me. It's now people are attracted to that butterfly. It takes photos of the butterfly. It wants it to land on its hand so it can marvel at its beauty. But without that darkness, without it having to dissolve itself within the cocoon, without you having to hit your lowest points, your hell, your misery, we would never ascend. We would never come out into our beauty of what we call the conscious world. The world that the external reality no longer affects us, that we are in control of our destiny. The one that makes us say, whoa, the power had been with you all along. Now that you understand the individual perspective of a dark night of the soul, this is what I believe. No, let me reframe that. This is not what I believe. This is what I know is occurring on planet Earth. Although everyone is looking at it and is saying, oh my God, the evil people have won, the victory is here. On the contrary, it is your perception. The truth, the one that you have to use your sixth sense to, in your gut feeling or your intuition, to be able to see through the veil of the darkness. The truth is that world has fallen. Their systems no longer work. See, once upon a time there was child trafficking and it was hush hush because the evil people controlled the world. Now it's being shouted at every four corners of the world. They're being caught. At once upon a time, racism was hush hush. But now the people that perpetrate this illness, this mental superiority, this belief that they are better or greater than the other, this ego is being called out. It's being put on blast. It's being forced to change. It's going through the dark nights of the soul. And this is happening in every inch of this planet. So what I want to say to you right now, more than ever, is that it is time for you to wake from the cocoon. Wake from your darkness. Wake from your shell and rise and soar like the butterfly. Become the perfect thing that the entire world attracts to. See, I've noticed that since I've been through my dark night of the soul, well, let me say, before I went through my dark night of the soul, the world didn't seek me out. I was just another victim of society. I was just another person trying to get by. Just another person suffering with the masses. And when I made the choice that I would separate my soul from my body and make my flesh submit to the being that I am, I noticed that the entire world attracts to my words. I'm noticing that people that considered me their enemies are asking me for help. And I'm realizing why the universe granted me the ability, the blessing of putting the pressure on me through gang stalking. I'm realizing now why the universe allowed my misery to come upon me. Because it knew that that was the only thing that would break me from my belief systems. I'm saying this to you now. Let go of your ego. Let go of what you think you know. Let go of what is no longer serving you. Adapt or die. Live in abundance or live in poverty. Live in joy and peace or live in misery. The choice is yours. But I will say this as a precautionary warning for those that want to live a fruitful, happy, joyful life where all men are equal, where everything is one. You must be willing to let go of what you think you are right now and become the butterfly. Because only the butterflies, only the things on higher planes will be able to exist in this realm of reality. Like I've told you before on my YouTube channel, Applied Consciousness. Like I've told you on these podcasts, there is a great split that is occurring. And it's the choice of each individual person to make the decision to which side you choose to be on. But know that the three-dimensional world, the world that when you used to cheat and steal and evade taxes that you would be successful, that world is falling. It's actually fallen, but you're still watching the rigor mortis set into the courts. And the things of higher beings, the things of love, the things that permeate love are succeeding in life right now. So my suggestion is hold on to the love, baby. Hold on to the light. Hold on to the joy. Hold on to the peace. Let go of the evil. Let go of the hatred. Let go of the prejudice. Let go of the greed. Let go of the envy. Because those things will no longer be able to survive in this realm. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, like I always say, live, love, and laugh more than ever right now. Live, love, and laugh as if it is your last opportunity to do so. And remember, woo, the power had been with you all along.